Welcome to Where There's a Will, There's a Play. My name's Ian, and I'm here with a top 10 list for you. I'm here by myself on this list because this is my top 10 BGG complexity games that are between 2.51 and 3.0 on Board Game Geek with at least 50 votes. Um, as we said in the last complexity video a couple of weeks ago, 2.5 is about Stacy's high end. On this list, she's actually only played 4 of these games, and only 2 of them she's played like more than a couple times. She does enjoy some of them. When I get to them, I will let you know which one she has said is her favorite one on this list. But yeah, so I had 18 games in this ranking. So this ranking, it did need 50 complexity votes, I will say. So there were 18 games that I've played that have at least 50 complexity votes that were, and the average was between 2.51 and 3.0. Um, there are more games that I've played, and you're going to see a lot of my solo collection in this list because this is where I kind of go into a lot of my solo gaming. Since Stacy is more of that lower to low mid complexity, and this is about where my solo gaming comes in. You're going to see several from one of my top solo gaming companies on this one, just because this is where their games fall as well. I do have a couple honorable mentions. One of my favorite roll and writes is on this game and is would be in this list. It did not make my top 10. That's Dinosaur Island Roaring Um, a game I mentioned on a recent um, ratings list, which had enough ratings but does not have enough complexity ratings. Um, but it would fall on this list, and I'm hoping by next time I do this list, it will be on this list. And that is Forges of Ravenshire, new game in 2024. Quickly moving up my overall gaming list. That would be in my top 10. It would probably be in the top 5, if not top 3 or 4 on this list. Just based on our a recent list we did, because I really enjoy everything about that game, but it does not quite have the 50 complexity ratings votes yet. Um, yeah, another good one. Fox Experiment. Played it a handful of times. I enjoy it. So those are a couple of big ones. And then another one that Stacy has played is Fleet the Dice Game. I do enjoy that one. I enjoy playing that one with Stacy as well. So just a couple honorable mentions of other games that I really enjoy from this list that did not make my top 10 or weren't eligible in the case of Forges of Ravenshire. But let's get on to the top 10. So coming in at number 10 comes to you from my favorite, um, one of my top top three solo gaming companies at this point. Um, this is tabletop only, and one of the biggest reasons that this is so low on the list is it is kind of a beast to set up, and it takes up a lot of table space. So when I rank these things, I look at that kind of as well. And that comes to us from Stonemaier Games, and that is Tapestry. Tapestry is a civilization game where you are running up different tracks and trying to also do some stuff on some islands and trying to extend islands to get to the middle while you are building on your player mat. And sorry, you're trying to go up 4 different advancement tracks, which give you benefits. You're trying to also build on your player mat, and you can get some really cool miniatures. I love the building miniatures in this one. Not gonna be able to see them real great, but I love the building miniatures in these. They come painted, which is a bonus. I do have the revised Civs pack, and I do have I think it's the arts and architecture. I believe it's the arts and architecture um, expansion. I think that's the one. And I do have the player mat for this because that does help with setup a little bit. But this one's kind of a beast to get to the table, especially for my solo play. I do enjoy playing this. I have played this quite a bit on BGA as well. I think I do prefer this more as a multiplayer game, but it did make my top 10 in this range. That is Tapestry from Stonemaier Games. Trying to get these things off to the side so stuff doesn't fall out of them. Number 9 comes to us from Elf Crate Games, and that is from designer Paul Solomon, and that is Honey Buzz. Honey Buzz is a tile laying game that has double hexes, and you are placing hexes down, and then when you make a honeycomb that has a center or that is completely filled with an open center, you get to perform everything that's on there. You can go foraging for, I haven't played for a little while, foraging for, is it the nectar that you're foraging for? Um, and you can build your honeycomb out more. You can add more bees. You can sell your honey. Um, you can fulfill order cards. Just a really clever game with some worker placement. Um, and then you're, like I said, you are making your honeycomb. When you complete a full comb like this that has a middle, you get to do everything that's on there. So you can get some really nice combos in there. It's a really nice, cozy game. One I'm hoping to teach Stacy at some point. I think she'll enjoy it. It might be just on the high end with everything that you're doing, with the different places the worker can place and the different things you're doing in your honeycomb. But I do think she would enjoy this one. So that is Honey Buzz, my number 9 game in this list. My number 8 game in this list is kind of an interesting game for this list because it is definitely the smallest box I have sitting on my table by far. It's also one that I've mentioned, another one from that company by the same company by in my honorable mentions. It is one I really enjoy. I don't know. I'm not sure I completely agree that the complexity goes up with some of these games like Honey Buzz and Tapestry, but there's a lot of combos in this one, and this is also one of my highest rolling rights, I believe, on my list this summer. And that was Three Sisters. In Three Sisters, you have 2 pads of paper, and what you're doing is you're moving around this. You're rolling dice. You're placing them on this board here, to figure out what you're going to do. Each turn, you get to do 2 things. You get to you get to plant stuff based on the dice you choose, and then depending on where that dice was on the small board, you get to also do a second action either with some flowers or with your garden. You may plant some more stuff, you may water, you may do some stuff in your shed. So it's a really fun, really combo-rific game. That is Three Sisters. Like I said, there's a lot going on in it. It was just a little weird to me, like Fleet the Dice Game, which is a sister game to this, Three Sisters. No pun intended. That it was on this list with all these other games. So that is Three Sisters at my number 7. My number 6 on this, or sorry, that was number 8. My number 7 on this list is a worker placement game where you are trying to avoid Sandra, and that is Bot Factory. Yeah, no, not Kanban EV. That one would be much higher than this. Those of you that have played Kanban EV, this is what I've been heard referred to as the lighter version of this by Vitel Lacerda. I really enjoy this game. I backed this on Kickstarter. It's a really fun game. I need to get it to the table again. I've not had it to the table in quite some time now. I think I'm glad this one made my list in this. I think when I first got it, I really enjoyed this game when I first got it to the table. But I think I was I don't want to say that I was influenced by what I was hearing, but I think I was slightly influenced by what I was hearing as far as a lot of not necessarily negative talk about the game, but maybe some like so ho hum talk about the game. Like, yeah, it's a good game, but it's not great. I think a lot of people were comparing it to a lot of Vitel's higher complexity games, which makes sense, I guess. And then I started seeing it on several people's top tens at the end of last year. Much bigger name content creators, and hearing how much love other people had for it, and I went, yeah, that is a really good game. So I haven't had it to the table since I learned it, and it's been some time, but I know this will be on the table by the end of the year because it's one of my challenges, and I'm really excited to get this back to the table and see how much I love it. Don't think this will be one for Stacy. I think there's a little bit too much going on, but it might be. We'll see. That is Bot Factory. So in Bot Factory, you are placing your meeple around. You are trying to build robots to fulfill blueprints, and then you are also trying to increase the price of the robots. So when you get them, you get more points at the end of the game, and it's just a really fun game. I love everything about it. You got this. Let's see if I can. You have this conveyor belt here where you're putting things on, and then in the solo mode, they're being taken away. You have this rondelle, this moving circle, almost a rondelle here that goes around where you can only take certain things, but you can move that. You can get blueprints here. You can increase the price of things here and get some extra bonus scoring over here. I really like this. The solo mode is great because you're not only trying to avoid Sandra. Sandra blocks places where you can go, but you're also playing against an AI who is trying to do stuff as well. So I really like this game. Cannot wait to get this back to the table. That is Bot Factory at my number 7. My number 6 is another game we backed on Kickstarter. This one I can definitely say this is Stacy's favorite game in this range of the few that she has played. This is all about nature, and it is about taking pictures and trying to get your best picture and your score. And that is Wild Serengeti. In Wild Serengeti, you are moving animals around, and you're placing animals in one of 2 maps. They each have just a slightly different river and where all the different habitat kind of areas are. Over 6 rounds, you get 6 turns per round in the first 3 rounds and 7 in the end. And you're just trying to fulfill these cards. There's adjacency cards where you have to have animals in adjacent to each other. There's ones where you have to have them in a straight line in a certain order. They don't have to be next to each other, but they just have to be in a straight line. There's ones where the things have to be in certain habitats, certain areas. Really enjoy this game. This is one of our favorite games to play. It's usually one that I overthink quite a bit, and Stacy tends to beat me. I think this summer I finally beat her for the first time ever. It also has a really great solo mode. I love the scenarios in this one. I actually prefer this one over Life of Amazonia for solo play. I'm not a fan of the solo play for Life of Amazonia, and unfortunately, that one is probably going to be too much going on for Stacy to play. So I really want to get into Life of Amazonia. It looks gorgeous as well, but this one definitely takes the cake. I love the solo scenarios in this. I want to play them cooperatively with Stacy, as well as just playing against Stacy in this. So that is Wild Serengeti, my number 6. My top 5, probably not going to be much of a surprise here, as many of these games were on if you joined in on Friday for our 7.5 rating and above, because a lot of these were on that top 10. So let's just jump right into it. My number 4 in this list is Lost Ruins of Arac. This is a worker placement slash deck building game where you are trying to explore and gain ruins and gain artifacts. So my camera just... Oh. I apologize for that. My computer froze up on me. So, as I was saying, Lost Ruins of Arac is a worker placement deck building game where you're trying to collect these different cards. You're using them in different ways. So I really like that. They are multi-use cards. I'm trying to hold this tight so that everything doesn't come flying out. So they're multi-use cards, so you can use them to move, or you can use them for their ability on the bottom. Stuff is shifting in here as I'm holding it up. I think I need to get an insert for this game, so stuff does not shift around in there. I have everything in bags, but let's hold that tight so it doesn't go forward. So that is Lost Ruins of Arac. I really enjoy this game. I do play this one only solo. It's a little bit big to set up. I do have to set this up on the dining table, but when I get it out, I do play it several times, and I do enjoy it. So that is Lost Ruins of Arac. Number 4 on my list also comes to us from Stonebuyer Games, and that is Wormspan. Wormspan, you are trying to build an engine as you are exploring caves to look for these different dragons. Dinosaurs is our theme for the month. as you are looking for these different dragons and trying to entice them into your caves, you have to explore the caves. I love that aspect of you have to explore the caves before you can get them in there. Um, you are also moving around this rondel of this dragon guild to earn more points. Just really great game. I love this game from the moment I played it. I love the solo mode in this game. I haven't even gotten to the Ravel mode yet, but I just love the dynamics of this solo mode in this. I actually prefer this one to Wingspan. So this one for me for solo play takes the place of Wingspan, and it's not even close. But that is Wormspan by Connie Vogelman, and that is my number 4. My number 3 is another worker placement game. You should probably see some theme here, and this is one that I also talked about the other night. That is Everdell complete. Well, and I have not the complete collection. I have the collector's edition. Um, so in Everdell, you are placing your workers. You're trying to get these cards to build your town. You can only put 15 cards in your town, but there is ways you might be able to replace cards. If you have a certain card in your town, you can sometimes get another card for free. You're getting resources. You are trying to also fulfill some different contests to get points. I do prefer this with the Mistwood expansion for solo play because I do believe Nightweave is a far superior and more realistic opponent than Rugwort is from the base game. But overall, it doesn't matter. Everdell, love this game. Great game. My number 3. My number 2, once again, comes to us from Stonemaier Games. Comes to us from a designer that I just talked about a minute ago with Wormspan, and this is Apiary. And I'm trying to hold this together too because I have the expansion stuff all in here and I don't want stuff falling apart. So in Apiary, another worker placement resource management game with 6 different sections that you are going to. You're trying to build out your hive. You have different factions. You have different hives that you're building on. And then you're exploring planets. You're trying to get a lot of different things. There's a new expansion for it, which gives you some more abilities and everything. I really love Apiary. Apiary is an amazing game. It is, I mean, obviously, it's number 2 on this list. I really enjoy it. It's my favorite Stonemaier game, I believe, that I own right now. Tops of my solo gaming as well. So that is Apiary. And my number 1. No spoilers here, but also, like I said, in our BGG rating 7.5 and above, this one is one that probably will not stay on the list, as unless we replay it quite a bit with unless we play it with some stuff here, and that is Ticket to Ride Legends of the West, Ticket to Ride Legacy. So in Ticket to Ride, you are well, let's leave this here. In Ticket to Ride, you're getting your drafting cards to be able to move your trains around to visit different locations. In the Legacy version, like I don't want to spoil it, like I said the other night, but you are starting with a part of the country and you are exploring the rest of the country slowly through different rounds. You will be adding on to the country. None of this part is spoilers. They show all this on the back of the box that there are you play 12 games and you will have your own unique copy of the game. You can continue playing for a lifetime. So you can continue playing this one, as it says on the back, when you're done with a very unique copy of the game. I don't know how much this one will make it to the table with our unique copy, but it'll be fun when it does because we do have some unique things in there. And I don't want to say too much about it because it's a legacy game. It's just really fun. Loved playing this last year. Really enjoy it. I would buy it again and play it with a bigger group as well to enjoy it with a larger group of people over time because I think that would be really fun. When Stacy and I played it, we played it on weekends between Thanksgiving and New Year's last year in 2023, and yeah, we just really enjoyed this one. So that is my number 1 ranked game, or my number 1 game in the BGG complexity of 2.51 to 3.00. And like I said in our 7.5 and above rating video, I don't know if this one will stay on my list if I do this list again, because the reason I put it on this one was because we played it in the last year. Um, Whether or not I feel like it deserves to belong on it if I don't play it again, who knows? These next time I do this list, it won't be for at least a year anyway. So we will see where this one sits, if it sits at all. But that is Ticket to Ride Legacy. Legacy Legends of the West. All right, that's all, everybody. Let me know what your top games that have a complexity of 2.51 to 3.0 that you think I might like. Um, uh, Preferably for solo play, because that's where the majority of my solo gaming comes in. And leave me a comment on that. Once again, this has been Where There's a Wills, There's a Play. Let me try that again. Good thing I'm taping this one and I can edit. If you like this video and want to hit that If you like this video and want to see more, please hit that subscribe button up above. If you want to see the rest of our top 10 list or my top 10 list, you can follow that link up above. Once again, this has been Where There's Wills, There's a Play. My name's Ian, and I'll see you next time at the table.